Phone Booth Productions.
Here's the thing.
Well, I get up around 7, get out of bed around 9. I don't worry about nothing, no, because worry's a waste of my time. Show usually starts around 7. We go on stage around 9. Get on the bus about 11. Sipping a drink and feeling fine. Hello.
Welcome to another edition of Here's the Thing. I'm your host, Snoop Von Poop. I got a great fucking guest today. I'm excited to talk to this guy. Growing up around the music industry, I've heard this guy's name so many times. And it's just, it's crazy that I've never met him. Didn't really know much about him until we started talking about doing a podcast. He's a man of many hats. He's a music and sports journalist. He was a DJ on the radio station. He's a stand-up comedian. He hosts a lot of events. He's a guitar player. He's got a podcast called Another Fucking Podcast with Izzy Presley.
Right.
Please welcome Izzy Presley.
Good day.
How you doing, sir?
Man, I'm great. I'll be really good in 1 second. We can swear on this show, right? This is all...
Of course we can.
Yeah, all right. I always start my show off like this, in the words of my close personal friend, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Gonna crack one for the working man.
There you go. What the fuck is that? Is that a coconut water? Oh, it's a Busch Lager. All right.
Busch Light. The good
All
shit.
right. I can dig it. Nice shirt, by the way. I assume you're referring to Mr. Chad Stewart.
Yes, but I wore it just for you.
I just found out he's in your band Ack. Is that how you say it?
He's one of the members. Yeah, Ack.
Okay.
And the story behind the name, just to get that out of the way,
It was going to be one of my questions.
It is an extremely Kiss-tard thing. It is one of those deep references. It was Ace's only scripted line in Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park.
His one line was Ack. Wow.
That's it. So the band started in Minnesota, and that's where the original band started. And so I have a band there. Then when I moved to LA, I put together the LA version. This is all the same version that I like when we play on the Monsters of Rock cruise randomly. Chad is from Faster Pussycat is the drummer. Johnny Martin from LA Guns is the bass player, and Sam Bam Colton from he plays with Dorothy. He just did a run with Disturbed, I think is the band. I think it was Disturbed, yeah. So he was playing with Disturbed, and no, not Disturbed. Same era metal, Godsmack.
Oh, okay.
Or was it Disturbed? I don't know. It was one of the two. I was like one of the two, or Alex Kane. And so, yeah, it's like I don't say I have a band. I say I have a Rolodex. But Chad is definitely a large part of that Rolodex.
He's a good guy. I've met him a bunch of times over the years. I'm such an idiot, man, because I meet all these guys, a lot of the same people, and they give me their phone numbers and I never call them. So then 10 years down the road, I'm like, hey, dude, this is Snoop. They're like, who? I'm like, geez, Like I saw Troy Patrick Farrell, I guess, is part of the band too, or was at some point.
Yeah, he's one of the guys that I use up here in Vegas, and we're actually going to be playing. If anybody out there is going to be in Vegas next month on the 29th, we're opening up for Killer Dwarfs.
Yep, I wanted to get into that too because that's super exciting, man. I love the Killer Dwarfs.
Oh, man, they're so great. Is
Troy still in Vegas? I thought he maybe had moved or something.
Oh, he moved out of Vegas, but he moved to Boulder City, which is
okay.
It's Vegas. Right. It's Vegas. Everything is 20 minutes away.
Right. But let's get into the beginning of Izzy here. Now, did you start out as a journalist?
That's I was bartending, and this magazine in my hometown of St. Cloud, Minnesota, popped up, and I was working at a rock bar. Everybody knew me as the rock guy or whatever. Not that I was the only one, but that's how they knew me, and they wanted me to start writing a column, just like a monthly, because it was a monthly magazine.
Okay.
Pardon me. And they wanted me to just do a monthly music column, and that's how it all started, and that's actually when the name started. And I'm like, well, Tommy Elwell's not a very rock and roll name. It's like everybody knew Tommy from the press because that was the bar that I worked at. And I'm like, well, let's see. I need a pen name. I need a gimmick name.
It's a good one.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. And it was just basically, well, Izzy Stradlin played on the greatest album of all time, bar none, Appetite for Destruction. Elvis is king. And there it is. And I've been stuck with it. I can't. I'm stuck with it. Everybody knows me as Izzy. I can't not be Izzy.
Well, look at what I'm stuck with. Snoop Von Poop.
Well, I know. I was thinking well, maybe I should have been doing this from the shitter.
You know what? I tried to do the podcast from the shitter, but the echo's too bad.
Yeah, I get it.
Now I want to ask you: Did you used to write for Metal Sludge too back in the day?
No, I did not write for Metal Sludge.
Did you contribute or something?
I contributed a little bit.
Okay, because I want to say I associated your name with Metal Sludge for some reason.
Yeah, and Stevie has been very good to me.
Stevie Russell.
Yeah, posting stories, articles that came off of the podcast, news that came off of the podcast way back in the day, and I contributed a little bit. I'm not employed by them. I was never actually employed by them or whatever. It was one of those things. I knew Stevie before I moved out of Minnesota. I didn't know him that well. We just connected on.
Well, he's
Facebook.
from up north too, isn't he? Somewhere
he's a Scotty.
Okay.
He's from inside the Cheddar Curtain. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's how I got to know Stevie. And when I moved out to LA, he helped me a little bit. He was one of the people that suggested me for to host to fill in for Paulie on Ultimate Jam Night, and that's really how I got my feet wet in LA, was filling in and hosting that when Paulie was out of town. So Stevie was one of the people that kind of helped me get that. So,
well, speaking of hosting, you do the stuff on almost every cruise in the world. Is that right?
I am currently, I wish every cruise. No, I am currently a host on Monsters of Rock, the Monsters of Rock cruise, and Cruise of the Edge, which is the Prague cruise. So if there's any Prague fans out there, they just announced the lineup, the beginning of the lineup for next year today. And the one we have coming up in a month is On the Blue, which used to be the Moody Blues cruise, but since the Moody Blues aren't on the boat anymore, just Justin is, it's called On the Blue, but it's still a lot of the same bands like Alan Parsons and Ambrosia and the Nelson Twins, honoring their dad doing that show. And it's great. It's a good time. And I think there's a few cabins left. If anybody wants to come on a fun cruise out of Boston in a couple of weeks, hit up On the Blue cruise.
Let me ask you, do you ever get seasick on those?
No, I've never gotten seasick other than somebody making me do a triple shot of Jack Daniels. It's the only time I've ever gotten sick.
Oof. Yeah, I'm okay until I can't see land, and then once I lose land, it's over for me.
It's weird. Everybody's so worried about those boats. It's like, dude, once you're going, you don't even feel the thing moving unless you hit rough seas. Because they're so big.
I just watched the train wreck on Netflix, the Poop Cruise.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Oh man, that looked rough. People were setting up tents like outside on the decks to camp out. Like, it looked pretty brutal.
Oh yeah. Well, no, honestly, I've never had a bad experience. I've been on every Monsters of Rock cruise since 2012. We started working them in 2014, and that's when we started doing all three of them. But there's a year that we did 4 or 5. Like one year we had the Def Leppard cruise, the one and only Def Leppard cruise, and there was the Megadeth cruise that we did, and then the Labruski cruise. So
yeah, I heard of that one. I wanted to ask you about that. I never even heard of it. Did it have
it was
anything
fun
to do with the movie, or
it was originally he was supposed to be on there as the dude, and then something he couldn't do it, and they still went with it. And it kind of turned into a mix between that and a Southern Rock cruise. And then we had a blast. We had but you had OAR and Molly Hatchet on the same boat,
Isn't OAR is more of like a jam band or something? I don't even know how to classify them.
College music,
Yeah.
I guess.
I
don't
know
know.
one song by them, and I actually don't mind it. It's "Crazy Game of Poker."
Super nice guys.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of them, but super nice guys. I ran
So,
into they hosted our karaoke contest.
who
They were
who
great.
are you a fan of? I know you're a Kiss fan.
Dude, Kiss, Van Halen, Ozzy, rest in peace, Ozzy.
Rest in peace, Ozzy.
But I love there's a lot of shit that I love almost everything except rap and hip hop, pretty
Yeah.
much. I love country. I love old school country. Sturgill Simpson, one of the newer guys.
Mhm.
I love a lot of stuff. It's just I cannot stand hip hop and rap and techno and all that shit. I fall asleep to classical music.
Oh, you're one of those guys.
No, I am. I real because I usually fall asleep to the TV,
Yeah, me
and
too.
but I have the iHeart app on my TV, and I'm like, oh, I just put on classical one night. I slept better than I've ever slept in my life. I didn't
Wow.
wake up. I slept so good, and I woke up refreshed, and I'm like, oh my god, it's actually try it.
Yeah, I was gonna say I might have to throw on some Mozart tonight and
Yeah,
see what
dude, just
happens.
pull up. There's the station I listen to is out of LA. It's the USC station, and you can find it on iHeart, and it's fucking great.
So let's get to LA. You start up in Minnesota as a
Yeah,
journalist, and then you did some drive time radio there too.
yeah.
Is that right?
So I started as the doing the journalist thing, but that turned into the sports side of it too, because we had a weekly paper, the Weekly Buzz. So I ended up being the sports and the music director for RX Magazine and the Weekly Buzz, and then at some point I moved to Florida for 3 months, and then I moved
In a
back.
row?
Yeah, 3 months in a row, and I moved back. It just wasn't the right time. It just wasn't right, and I slid into the radio station that I grew up on, and with my idea to do Under the Covers with Izzy Presley, which is all cover songs, rock cover songs. And if you sign up for the Patreon, patreon.com/real Izzy Presley, every once in a while I throw one of those up there, just for fun, just for something to do. It's only $5 a month. But that turned into, well, hey, Tommy, why don't you come in? We want to talk. I'm like, all right. Why don't you do some sales? I'm like, oh, fuck. Ad sales.
Yeah.
But, it's a foot in the door. I mean, whatever. And so I was there every day, doing my Sunday morning show once a week. And then one day, the drive time guy walks out. The afternoon drive guy walks out. And I go, Gary, who's gonna who's gonna do 2 to 7? He's like, well, I guess you are. And until we find somebody, and then it was my gig until I left for LA.
I've always loved radio, man. When I was a teenager there in Las Vegas growing up, I used to go down to Comp all the time, and I would hang out with the DJs and sit there on the air with them. And they would always try to get me to do little funny bits, but I was too
Yeah.
much of a pussy back then to
Yeah.
do it, And hey, here I am now hosting a podcast. It's weird how
Right.
things kind of come full circle.
Right. Well, it's fun. I was that guy too. I used to hang out there. They used to give me shit all the time, and
Yeah.
concert tickets and all that kind of stuff.
Dude, it's so much fun,
Yeah.
I was listening to your interview with Chuck Shute recently.
Oh,
And I know,
okay.
and I know it's a
Wow.
little bit older. And shout out to Chuck Shute. I just talked to him the other day. I think
Good
he's going
dude.
to come on the podcast.
Nice. Good dude.
Yeah, he seemed really cool. And I found out he lives out here near me in Arizona.
Yeah.
I was like, wow. But he was asking you stuff like how you got involved with some of these people, and you kept saying over and over, well, just being around the scene.
Yeah.
And that's what it is, man. Just being around the scene. And that's how I got to know all these people. Like all my friends ask me all the time, well, how do you know this musician? Or how'd you get this picture with this musician? Like, how do you know these people? I'm like, I don't know, man. Just being around,
Yeah.
and I got to thank Kerry Kelly for a lot of it. That dude's opened more doors for me into the music industry, and I've met more
Mhm.
people through him. People like Chad Stewart, Robbie
Yeah.
Crane, I mean, everybody, even Stevie Rochelle, he's tight with
Yeah.
Kerry too. I think, what did they have, a band, Shameless or something, I think it was called?
Yeah.
Something like that. But Kerry's coming up on the podcast here in a few weeks,
Oh,
man.
nice.
Yeah, I'm so excited to talk to him. His new project looks awesome.
Well, he's a Vegas guy, right? New Vegas?
He's got he's got the two bars out there, Ace
Yeah,
of Nails, and then they just opened Evolve Brewing, which is like their brew him and Greg Koch or Koch. I'm not sure how you say his last name.
yeah.
From Stone Brewing. So now they opened up that Evolve Brewing out there. I don't know if he's living out there full time. I know he still lives out in California,
Oh, gotcha.
but I know he's in Vegas a lot.
Right,
So,
right. Okay.
but so you're doing the drive time stuff in Minnesota, and then
Mhm.
you decide to up and move to LA for a change of
Yeah.
scenery.
Well, it was shocking. It was about a vagina. Uh,
You went from the city of lakes to where they have no lakes.
it was it was all about trim, brothers and sisters. On the very first Monsters of Rock cruise, I met a gal. Her name is Lena, and she was on with a guy. And I remember the first time I saw her. She was walking. It was we just got on the boat, and I see this gal walking across the pool deck. She's wearing a Motorhead T-shirt, and she looks like who was the chick in fucking the Mask, Cameron Diaz. She looked like Cameron Diaz,
Okay,
and she's
wow.
wearing a Motorhead T-shirt. It's like holy shit. Well, then I saw her with their guy afterwards. Then I met them when they were hammered and realized they were Norwegian, and because they were hammered, I couldn't understand them. But we became friends, and then they split up, and she came on the next cruise with me, and then she came to Minnesota to visit, and we went to L.A., and I fell in love with L.A., and we decided to move there. And that's really that's how it happened. If it hadn't been for her, I wouldn't be here because I'd still be in Minnesota, maybe having a successful career in something.
You know,
Oh, fuck it, I'm gonna move to LA and start a podcast.
dude, I've wanted to love LA my whole life, and I've gone there so many times. Randy Piper tried to get me to move there in the late '90s, and I don't know. It's fun to visit. I just didn't really enjoy being there. The
You know,
weather's
dude,
beautiful, then, but that's really the most appealing
I
thing.
I
But
I'm going to say this. I do love LA. I miss LA, but I don't miss LA. If that makes sense.
well, I mean, isn't everybody from LA moved to Vegas now?
Well, yeah, but no, it's I mean man, I love LA. It's just it's too fucking expensive.
Yeah,
You
it's
know,
out of
and
control. I
the
mean,
traffic is ridiculous. The homeless is ridiculous. And I mean, Christ, we played. I'm in another band called the Smoking Kills with Mike Dawson from the Adam Carolla Show, and we opened up for Dada, the Dada reunion, the first time they had played together in like fucking 7 years or something like that, or maybe even longer than that. And we played at the Roxy, the first time I ever played at the Roxy. I was so fucking stoked. And I always heard the stories, and the Rainbow was one of my favorite. Still is one of my favorite bars in the fucking world, right?
I have a great rainbow story for you.
Oh, I have plenty. But and it was the I actually had the chance to do this. Go to the Rainbow before the show, have a beer and a bowl of chicken soup.
With Lemmy?
And- well, no, Lemmy had already passed.
Oh, okay. It was after.
This was when that hurricane hit a couple years ago. Remember when that hurricane hit a couple years ago?
Right.
And it only fucking rained a little bit. And we can't come to the show because there's gonna be a hurricane. Fucking pussies. And it was a bottle of Bud Light and a cup of chicken noodle soup, and it was like $25.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, nah, it, it's too much. It's
Yeah.
just too much. And I have
Yeah.
so many friends there, and I've done so many cool things there. You know, hosting Soundcheck Live, which I'll be back in September when we start rolling again. But
And what is that now? That's like just a big jam session?
yeah, it's like an all-star jam. It's put on by Steve Ferlazzo, who is the music director for Avril Lavigne.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's a lot of good jam sessions down
Yeah.
there. What's his name? Happening Harry used to host some too, or something.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, he's still kicking.
Yeah. I don't see these names anymore. I don't go on Facebook much, and that's where a lot of the guys are.
Don't blame you.
Yeah, it's hard, but so you're in LA, and
Yeah.
so now you did stand up comedy too. I assume this took place in LA.
Yeah, I started doing it in LA. I was sitting there one night, and I'm like, well, I can talk into a microphone to nobody. There's nobody in the room. I can talk into a microphone because of the radio thing. I'm like, I wonder if I can be funny. Cause I've no problem being on stage. I love being on stage. That's the only time I'm happy is when I'm on stage. I wonder if I can be funny. And I was doing Lyft, and I just coming up with bits, because you're out fucking driving, 9, 10 hours a night, 12 hours a night. And I just went for it. I did an open mic, and then I connected with a gal by the name of Courtney Cronin, and we created this show. It was her idea, and she brought me on to help out, called Punchlines and Backlines. And the premise is we take a musician who's never done stand-up before, and they have to do stand-up for the first time. So, we did it for a few months in LA, and then all of a sudden the pandemic hit. That wiped that out. But that's also how I met my best friend in the world, Mike Dawson from the Adam Carolla Show, because he was one of the guys that we had on the show. And then we started doing it on the Monsters Cruise, so we've had Kip Winger, we've had Chad did it. Chad's done it a couple times.
Wow,
Well, he did it in LA too. Reb Beach, Todd from Queensryche.
Were any of them funny?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. Well, so Courtney and Don Jameson, they kind of work with them and help create the set.
Coach them a little bit. Yeah.
Well, what they do is they sit and they get their stories, and then Don and Courtney turn them into jokes.
Okay.
And the stories are funny already, So there's not a lot that they have to do, but there's good bits that they come up with and help put them in, and it's great. It's so fun, dude. And I love doing stand up, and I need to start doing more stand up because look. I'm not going to be a famous actor. I'm not going to join a famous band. I'm 52 years old. I'm white and I'm fat. So my only hope is stand up comedy.
Well, hey. You could be any age to do it,
Exactly.
I love it, man. I'm a huge stand-up comedy fan. We used to go to Phil Varone. Phil Varone.
Yeah, I know Phil.
Saigon Kick and Skid Row. He played with. He used to host. What was it called? Sex and Stand Up. I think it was called something like that.
Yeah, I heard
And
about that.
it was like had sexual themes and stand up. It was probably it must have been over with by the time you moved to LA. Wait, because you got there and when 13, I think I read
2013, September 1st, 2013.
Yeah, because I want to say he had already moved to Vegas by then. I think
so.
Yeah. But I mean, we used to go see, and we'd see people like Eliza Schlesinger before she really took off.
Wow.
Before she won, was that last Comic Standing that she won? Yeah. So she was real young when she was on that, and Phil Varone's actually a pretty funny dude.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
Yeah.
Monster Cock, because he was.
Right.
He was in porn.
Yeah. Well, didn't he? Was he in Playgirl magazine?
Probably. I don't know.
I want to say he was. Yeah.
I just know he was in porn, and he has a large cock.
Well, my old roommate was Snake Sabo's guitar tech, and that's how I met Phil.
Okay.
But do you know Brett Perozzi?
No.
He's out with Tesla now. He's Brian Wheat's tech now.
Oh, okay. I've probably met him on the cruise.
Oh yeah, he's on a lot of them because he was with Skid Row forever before before Tesla. But so then when did you start your podcast? Another fucking podcast, which is one of the best names for a podcast.
And honestly, I did it as a joke. Yeah. The name was a joke because November 4th, 2013 was the very first podcast.
Is that right? Wow, you've been doing it a long time.
I've been doing it a long time, and I'm living proof that you cannot make unless you're famous. You can't make a living doing a podcast. I came up with it as a joke because even jokingly I said because everybody has a podcast.
Yeah.
And this was in 2013. Now everybody does have a podcast, so it makes the name even funnier.
Yeah. I wanted to call this podcast The Poop Shoot, but then I got talked out of it.
Why?
Because it's like your poop shoot is your asshole.
Right.
And so they were saying, "Well, you're going to call your podcast the Asshole Podcast." I'm like,
Yeah, dude, it's funny. It's
I
funny.
might do it somewhere down the
Dude,
line. You
change
know?
it. I mean, I remember you told me that once, and the first thing I thought of was Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, moviepoopshoot.com.
Oh yeah. That's right. That's a good one. But I like this name. Here's the thing, because
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
and it's funny that since I came up with this name, you just noticed how many times people say, "Here's the thing." Like everybody says it over and over. Well, here's the
That's a good
thing.
point.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. And so it's like kind of a catchy name.
Right.
So
Yeah.
maybe I'll change it down the road. We don't know. We still got a lot of irons in the fire. We'll see.
Offshoot show. No pun
Yeah,
intended.
exactly. Yeah. So okay, so now you're a podcaster.
Yeah.
And so how did you what made you start an Ace Frehley cover band and not just a Kiss cover band? Why specifically Ace?
Because I am a fucking Kiss tard. Um, it, the Kiss thing has been done.
Sure.
It's like, dude, and I'm friends with people that are in Kiss tribute bands, and I didn't want to do the makeup and the Kiss non-makeup thing. It's just not going to work. And it was just Ace is one of the two reasons that I started playing guitar. The other one being the Johnny B. Good scene from.
Do you think there's a chance that they'll do another show together like they did this Black Sabbath thing? Thank God, right before
No,
Ozzy.
no,
You don't think
I
Kiss
don't
will
think
do it?
so. I don't think so. And I hope they're shooting themselves in the foot for not doing that.
Well, are they? They signed up for another residency in Vegas.
Well, it's not a residency. It just started out because Kiss sold their rights to
Okay.
Pop House. So Pop House owns Kiss, right? So I think this is one of those things that was in the deal where they have to do some stuff every once in a while, like the Kiss Cruise.
Okay.
And this just got announced as a Kiss thing in Vegas, where Kiss is going to play again without makeup because it's the last show ever without or with makeup. We'll never perform in makeup again. It's like, so that means obviously they're going to play again. So Kiss is playing twice, unplugged and plugged in without makeup. Well, sales haven't been great. So they rebranded it as the Kiss Cruise Landlocked or whatever it is.
Yeah.
They brought a whole bunch of other bands on, like Black and Blue. So, because obviously Tommy's going to be there. Tommy was in Black and Blue. God, who else? Quiet Riot. There's a whole bunch of things. And actually, I'm hosting an unofficial pre-party on the 13th is it the 13th? Whatever the Thursday is, right before that, at Dive Bar with a couple of the guys from my band who are in this band called One Last Kiss, and this is the full makeup, full thing. And I'm hosting it. They're playing. There's a couple other bands playing. It's going to be a good time. And also that same weekend is the next Las Vegas Guitar Trade Show, which I host. So
I was just thinking that, and I was going to say it. What's up with those trade shows? You just go in and MC it, or
yeah, I walk around with a microphone. I just say random shit like, okay, we got this coming up. This clinic is coming up, or ladies and gentlemen, in 15 minutes, Bruce Kulick will be doing a clinic on the best bagel in Vegas over at his booth over here. 15 minutes, best bagel in Vegas clinic with Bruce Kulick, because I always annoy Bruce because it's fun because I'm a Kiss tard.
yeah.
No, but it's great. It's great. If you are a musician, I highly suggest it because we've all been to NAMM, and you can't buy shit at NAMM. This one you
I've
can
never
actually
been to
buy it.
NAMM. I've always wanted to go, but never been.
It's not what it. It's not as cool as you think. The first time you go, it's cool because you're there, but it's just people and noise.
Well, it seems like there's a lot of good shows, like just little fun
Yeah.
jam
Oh,
sessions
trust
and
me,
stuff
it's
that
fun.
happen.
It's fun. Don't get me wrong. It's just avoid the drum room.
Avoid the drum room. But what else is going on with ACK? You guys are playing the end of the month. Was it the 29th?
29th at Backstage Bar and Billiards here in Las Vegas. It's on Fremont, but it's not in the middle of Fremont. It's
That's
There's
perfect because this episode is going to come out, I believe, the 26th. So it'll be coming out right
perfect.
before the 29th. Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
and you're opening for the Killer Dwarfs, man.
Killer Dwarfs, yeah.
I'm jealous. I've never seen them live. That's one band I've never seen.
Dude,
That
they're great. They're so good. They're so fun. I was talking to somebody on Friday night, and they were at the first time that the Smoking Kills, the only time the Smoking Kills played out here was opening up for Killer Dwarfs, and they were telling me that they were there, and he was telling the story to his bandmate. It's Barry from the Counts band, and John Zito from the Counts band. He's like,
Oh,
dude,
okay.
Killer Dwarfs are so good. I didn't know any of the songs, but they were awesome. Yeah, Barry's old. He's like, "Yeah, I loved them. I didn't know any of the songs, but they captivated me. They were,
Yeah.
the songs were good and they were really good and they were fun. I had a blast. So yeah, go see Killer Dwarfs.
Speaking of Counts band, let's talk about Vamped. Our beloved
Oh,
Vamped is finally shut its doors.
yeah, it's
Ah, what a
brutal.
shame,
It is.
so many good memories there. Even before Vamped, it was Feel Goods.
Yeah,
And then Vince sold his part in it. And it's just like they had so many good shows, and it's like the one spot where, the industry could congregate,
yeah. It was our rainbow. It
Have
was our rock and roll hang.
have you heard, is anybody
Nothing
thinking
yet.
about buying? I know he's asking, I think it was like 4 million for it.
4.3.
4.3, but that's if you keep the whole moniker or whatever,
I
keep
don't
everything,
know.
right?
I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I
I don't
wanna
know.
It'll be interesting to see what he does now, I mean, I know he's still got 15 other businesses or however many he's got,
Yeah.
you know?
I know he's been talking. He hasn't announced what it is yet, but I think there's another TV thing coming up.
Okay.
And I think he was talking about, he was on my show a couple years ago, and he was saying, if I do it, it's going to be more about me and less about the business, but that's still going to be there. It's just not going to be full blown Counts Customs.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I really like his car museum. It's over there by the Rio, if I'm not mistaken. We went there. Well, it may have moved
not
now, but
really.
off of
It's
Valley View? No?
no, it's off of Sahara.
Okay. Oh,
Actually,
okay. So he's probably got a new one because I went to one back probably 2004, maybe 2005. A long time ago, and I want to say it was off of Valley View, right over there.
Sahara and Highland is kind of where it's off of.
Okay. What you got? Anything else you want to promote?
Oh God, I might be back in Minnesota bartending at the Red Carpet for
Do
a
you
weekend.
know how to pour a drink, Izzy? Because I
I
bartended for a long time, man.
six,
I'm gonna put you to the
dude,
test.
6.5 years.
Yeah.
6.5 years behind the bar, and the 5.5 is a college bar for years. It was always cash only, and
Yeah.
you had to think you had to multiply in your head as you're making the drinks, and it was fast, 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 fast. And dude, you know how frustrated I get watching fucking bartenders? It's like, dude, come on, let's move.
Yeah.
Let's move. What are we doing here? You got people all around the bar, and you're just do. I'm going as fast as I can. Come
Well,
on.
Vegas, it's real bad too. So I bartended in Vegas for probably 15 years
Oh
out
wow.
there, and I used to hate when I'd go into a bar and you'd see a female bartender and all she does is sit like this right in front of the bar at her top gambler or her favorite gambler that
Yep.
day, and everybody else is thirsty.
Oh yeah.
Because that's their meal ticket. You know what I mean? They
Oh
hit the
yeah.
jackpot. They're gonna tip them fat. So
Dude, the bar. So the bar I worked at, the press bar, for years they did not have female bartenders. They didn't want them
yeah,
because they're always calling in sick. They always got a reason. I can't come in. My pussy hurts. I can't. I got sand in it. I'm all verklempt. I can't come in. And eventually, we started putting gals behind the bar. And they were good bartenders. I'm not saying women aren't good bartenders.
there's a few of them out there, but
Yeah, for
the
sure.
majority, are relying on their looks. And
Yeah,
that
but it's also look, and it's also a thing now where people are like, and I went through this. So I tried to bartend in L.A. I couldn't get a job because I was an older, chubby guy. They wanted fucking young broads with great knockers, and I'm sorry. He's like, yo, you gonna bring people in? That's not my job, motherfucker. That's your job. You're the owner. I'm not the one to bring people into your bar as a bartender. You know, it's so dumb.
Yeah,
But
and that's
like,
that's how it is in Vegas too. You know, they
yep,
want you to bring your gambling following with you. Oh, you have players? I'll hire you. Bring your players over here.
yeah,
No,
yeah,
okay.
exactly. So I used to scour Craigslist almost every day looking for a bartending gig, and every one they said, "Hey, can you send a picture? You've seen the Mankini pictures? That's what I used to send as
Unfortunately, I
fuck
think
you."
I did see one. I was hoping that wasn't you, man, but you got some dimples in those cheeks. I'm
Oh
not
yeah,
gonna
yeah,
lie.
yeah. Oh yeah.
What possessed you guys to do that?
That okay. So I'll give you the
This
short
was on one of
story.
the cruises, right?
This was so I did it the first. It's my along with Lena, my Norwegian girlfriend. This might be the reason where I am today. Was the fucking Mankini. And if you sign up for the podcast on Patreon, $5 a month, you can go back and hear the whole story. I didn't post this as a public show. This is a Patreon only show. The whole story about the Mankini. But I'll give you a tidbit in it. I was on with the radio station and I thought, fuck it, I'll do something fun. I ordered the Mankini. It was 2 sizes too small.
Oh God, yeah. It
And
looks like it's 3 sizes.
there was some tucking involved. And I'll send you the photo if you want to put it up later, with the Norwegian girlfriend. But so the Norwegian girlfriend. Have you ever seen the video of those 2 blondes on the beach and there's a donkey in the background with a boner flapping around? It's been
It's like,
around for years.
did I get that right on the screen? Your Patreon, is that correct?
Yes,
Okay, cool.
absolutely. She's one of the blondes in that video. It was a viral video years ago, and I sent it to her. She's like, "That's me." What? So I planned it out, and there was some working out that was involved. I tell the whole story on the Patreon. So just go listen to it. It's fucking great. You sign up for a month. Listen to that one. It's worth it. It's worth $5. But I did it on the pool deck on St. Patrick's Day, and we were at sea, so everybody was on the boat. And
Well, if that didn't make people seasick,
right, the best thing, John Karabi, who was in Motley Crue,
I
and
know
me,
John very well.
and you know John. John's great. I fucking love John. There's a picture of me standing on the pool deck like this in the Mankini, and you see John sitting on the side of the pool, just going. And we were taking the photos for the photo experience later on that day. And I'm outside firing a long dart, and here comes John to fire a long dart. He looks at me, just shakes his head. He's like, "I had to bleach my fucking corneas."
Right? Dude, so John, man, it was John and me and Carrie Kelly and a few other people. We were all going to see the Black Crows, right?
Yep.
And I picked John up from his hotel. Him and I don't, it must have been his wife. And that motherfucker stunk up my car like that patchouli oil that he fucking wears.
Yep. Yep.
Dude, I'm not kidding you. For 2 weeks, the car reeked of fucking
Oh,
patchouli
that's
oil.
hilarious.
No, it's really
That's funny.
but hey, I'm on that Chuck Shoot podcast, you mentioned his son. You know his son?
Ian. Yeah.
Is he in Rehab, the band Rehab?
I don't know.
Because I heard one of John Corabi's kids is playing with Rehab, and I was
Oh,
like,
that would
wow,
be
that's
him.
pretty cool. Yeah, okay. So is he
Yeah.
a drummer or something?
Yeah, he's a drummer. He's a great
Oh,
drummer.
okay. Yeah, that's pretty cool, man. I like Rehab. They had a couple good tunes. But yeah, John Corabi, man, stinking up my car.
That's hilarious.
But I want to tell you my rainbow story real quick before we
please.
wrap this up. So we used to manage this band out of Las Vegas called the Deadly Seven, and it was 7 former showgirls. Okay.
Okay.
And
You got me.
so I'll have to send you some links to this stuff. They're all down. They took them down off of YouTube, but I can send you some links. So we were down in LA we had some meetings with MTV and VH1 about possibly filming a reality show.
Oh, wow.
This is back in that heyday, back in
Yeah.
2009. I want to say it was 2010, maybe 2009. And so we go down there for these meetings, and we're hanging out with like Ian Ziering from 90210, just an obscure cast of characters.
Yeah.
Lemmy, of course, is at the Rainbow. Ron Jeremy was there,
Of course.
and we end up getting kicked out of the Rainbow because one of the girls had gone and threw a CD in their player there and started playing the Deadly Seven music. And I guess Glenn Danzig's tour manager was like, "Who the fuck put this in?" And then so one of the girls like flicked his hat and said, "Well, I did." And then I guess he went to take a swing at her or something. And then so they come out onto the patio where the rest of us were standing. You know how
Yeah.
the patio's right there in the front, by where you valet.
Yeah.
And so the girls come out and they're telling us what happened. And this guy comes over and takes another swing. And so I kind of step in front of one of the girls, and then security grabs me, and then they throw us all out. Meanwhile, there's probably 11 or 12 of us. We got the 7 girls plus me
Yeah.
and another manager and a photographer, and so they kick us out. And so we basically go from the patio to 4 feet over to outside the patio. And we have to wait for them to bring the van around, which is
Yeah.
wrapped. We had rented a 15-passenger van and wrapped
course.
the band's logo around it. And so one of the girls ended up making out with Ron Jeremy, which I thought was one of the most disgusting things someone could do.
She will always have that story.
I was like, my God. So they kick us out of there, and supposedly the cops are on their way. Why they were coming after us, I don't know. But we fled there and went to. Do you know who Kim Fowley is?
The name
Kim
sounds
Fowley
familiar.
produced The Runaways.
I know the name.
He's
I
a
don't
producer
yeah,
guy. Right?
I don't know him personally, but I know the name.
He had gone to jail. I think he got caught up in some murder charge. I don't know if he pulled the trigger but he was a part of it somehow, and he did some
Yeah.
time. And so he had just gotten released from prison that day. So we went to his house to do an impromptu photo shoot with him, and he had gold records from like helping write some stuff, I think, for Appetite, Guns N' Roses.
Yeah.
And so
My name is Izzy.
So we got some crazy video from this dude's house of him yelling at these girls, because like he was a weird, creepy dude, man. Like
Okay.
we were gonna do this photo shoot, and he literally went into his bedroom to change and came out faster than Clark Kent out of a phone booth. And it was in this like sequins robe, like Silence of the Lambs style.
Oh, that's
And I
funny.
mean, it was weird. He had these girls crying like they were so scared of him.
Damn.
And so we were like, we got to get the fuck out of here. Meanwhile, he had all these guys moving his shit into the house and like this crazy, like almost like Halloween type music. I want to describe it as playing outside his house. Like it was really spooky. We were followed there. And so we were kind of creeped out, and we just took off. And then Robin Leach from Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous ended up writing a bunch of articles.
I don't know why.
Yeah, he wrote a bunch of articles about it, man. It was great.
Oh, wow.
But that's my one Rainbow trip, was that fucking story.
The very first time we went to the Rainbow after I moved there. the night we got to LA. We go to the Rainbow, and the car that I drove out there in, it wasn't a Camry, it wasn't a Corolla, whatever. It started with a C. It was a Toyota. I can't remember the name of it. It was a little bit bigger, and mid-90s. I pull up, we valet. I tell the valet guy,
keep it up front.
No. I said, don't roll the driver's side window down because it won't go back up. It's like, yeah, no problem, man. No problem. We got you. No problem. I go to get my car, and you remember where that valet was? Right in front of the fucking patio, in front of everybody. The window's down. Halfway. I'm like, oh, no. All right, cross your fingers. I get in the car. I start it up. Try to pull it up. Nothing. So there I am, outside of the Rainbow, doing the fucking wiggle. Trying. Like, hi, everybody. I just moved here.
I'm on the radio.
Yeah, I was on the radio in Minnesota.
Oh yeah, it
Oh,
always
man.
happens at the most convenient time, huh?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, if you ever have me back, let's just swap LA stories.
I don't have a whole lot of LA
No, that's right,
stories.
'cause you didn't live there. You
I
never
would go
lived there.
down there to visit, once
Yeah,
in a
yeah, yeah,
while,
yeah.
but most of my times were in Vegas, man. Carrie I met Carrie back in the late '90s at some point. And then, he would be always coming through Vegas, and I'd always be hanging out with him. And then he opened his bar there, and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
he
yeah.
did Adler's Appetite. So then I got to meet Steven and became
Yeah.
buddies with him. And
Nice guy.
I got some Steven stories we can get into on another episode.
Love it.
That dude's
Love
got
it.
me in some trouble before.
Oh, I bet.
But
I can just imagine.
yeah, so and so he, Carrie, like I said, he's just introduced me to so many people, and it's
Yeah.
all about networking.
Dude, that's exactly what it is. And I if it wasn't for networking, I wouldn't be sitting here right now.
Yep. I
You
mean,
know?
if it wasn't for me knowing Robbie Crane, or this is how I got to know Robbie
Robbie
Crane, was
Crane.
like every time I would see Robbie Crane, I would always be asking him, "Hey, man, you got Ronnie's phone number?" Like I was asking for. I don't know if you know who Ronnie North is,
No.
but I had met him back in the late '90s as well, and I had lost contact with him, so I was always asking him every time I see Robbie. So then Robbie got to know me, always asking him, and we became buddies. He's
That's
another one,
great.
man, that I never fucking called. He
I
gives me
love
his numbers,
Robbie.
and I never fucking. He's the nicest guy in the world, man.
Oh, dude, he's the best. He doesn't age.
No, he doesn't.
He still looks like he's 27 years old.
Him and
Pissed me
fucking
off.
Bloss Elias is
Oh,
another
boss,
one.
dude. Fucking yeah, he's the same way. And another super nice guy.
Yeah, he's so humble. Like you would never know who he was. Like like he's not like most rock stars where they have a little bit of an ego.
Right. He's
Uh,
just a dude.
But dude, thanks for coming today, man. It's been a
Anytime.
pleasure talking to you, man. Everybody, go check out ACK at is it Backstage Barn?
Backstage bar
Bar and
billiards.
Billiards.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's that
August
and the country,
29th.
Fremont Country Club,
Yep,
same
down on
building.
Fremont.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only place in Vegas that still has a little bit of Vegas vibe, really. It's different than the rest of the strip.
Yeah.
It really, it's a little bit older, so it's got a little bit of flavor left, which I enjoy.
Yeah, yeah. I would look, and you can smoke in the backstage side. And I quit smoking. I was like, "Oh my god! I finally can play I might start smoking again that night just to smoke on stage."
Don't do it, man.
Dude,
They'll hook you.
I can have one here and there.
Well, that's kind of how I am right now. I only smoke around my friends that smoke out here, so it's like once a month. Maybe I'll have a couple cigarettes with them.
Yeah, it's like I'll have a bad day. I'm at the grocery and my friends are out there smoking. I'm like, come on, all right, it's time, and that's it. I have the one. I'm good. But I will say this: I walk into a smoky bar and dry hump the air. Oh, I love you.
It used to be one of my favorite parts about Las Vegas is you could smoke everywhere, and there was an ashtray everywhere.
Yeah,
what I mean?
exactly. I fucking love it.
But thanks for coming today. Everybody go check out ACK at the Backstage Bar and Billiards, August 29th. Go to patreon.com, Real Izzy Presley. Subscribe for $5 a month and check out his mankini. And, dude, follow him on Twitter, The Real Izzy Presley.
Everywhere. Real Izzy Presley. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook.
He posts funny shit all the time. It's been great talking to you.
Likewise.
And, yeah, man, we'll have you back again sometime.
Anytime, man. I'm happy to come back.
All right. Thanks, Izzy.